Hi there, everyone. How's it going? Been a little while since I've made a YouTube video. It's most certainly not because I, don't have ideas and theories about certain things, in particular COVID 19 and, other subjects. Uh, there's a combination of reasons why I haven't been making YouTube videos. Um, at some point, I will get back into the swing of doing that. Right now, I got other things going on, and yeah, I wish I could say that they were like good things for me, but they're not really. I was told recently that my health, specifically my bad cholesterol, is bad. It's way too high, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because they tried saying, "Oh, it's genetic. Oh, it's your poor diet," and all that sort of stuff. And I've made videos about psychiatric medications, and in fact, they are very bad for your cholesterol. That's something that was not told to me ever by anyone. You can dig on the internet and find, it vaguely writing about that, but you really got to ask it specific questions like, what damage is this medication doing to my body specifically? And you should have a degree of trust amongst your psychiatrists. But the truth is, they're not out there to really help you. They're not. So this Bell Let's Talk thing, I totally boycott the whole thing. All it is to create the illusion that they want to talk to patients and have them, live normal lives and all that sort of stuff. It's all bullshit. They want you to take medications that's bad for you, and they don't want you to question it, and they don't want you knowing too much about it, because if you know things about it, then you're probably not going to take it because there's logical reasons not to take it. If they told me my cholesterol was going to go through the roof, I evidently would have protested, but they didn't want me even knowing that. And, it's important when you do blood work, in my case, looking for cholesterol or blood sugar. My blood sugar was actually down from last year. Evidently, I'm eating less sugar, which is good. Um, but I noticed over the years I've had not that many blood tests, but once a year kind of thing, which is an average type of thing to do. Some people never do them, and I don't recommend that. Simply because it's good to check up on these sort of things. Um, However, it is easy enough to go online and see your results if you can make heads or tails of them anyway. Um, because, there is the information available. But I had noticed over the years that, I had to ask twice or three times to get this sort of information. I'm more of a paper type of guy. I rather someone hand something to me in paper. I don't want it on the internet. I don't want to look for it on the internet. I mean, I will start doing that because if I'd seen this trend of my cholesterol increasing over the years, I would have asked questions. In fact, it's so high that I'm actually at risk of a stroke or a heart attack. Not even joking about that. And it's like, I'm 34, turning 35. And it's like, yes, that can happen. Um, I was told it wasn't likely going to happen to me. And I should hope not, because they're going to ask you some questions you don't want to answer if I were to, get a heart attack all of a sudden. Uh, that's the way things are. People ask questions when, severe abnormalities occur. And point being is, I'm doing more exercise. I've actually lost at least 6 pounds in the last, well, just under 2 weeks. It's very easy to lose weight if you try. Basically, you get a cardio workout going and you change your food consumption. Fish is excellent for burning fat. The omega that's in some fish is very nutritional for you. And switching to some form of bird for meat, like turkey. Turkey's better than chicken. Chicken's fine, I suppose. Not fried chicken or anything like that. I'm talking about like chicken breast or turkey breast or fillet. Not chicken strips either or anything like that. Just straight up turkey. And you'll see you lose weight and you stop eating things like camembert cheese. I really like camembert cheese. I've had to put that on the sidelines because I got to get this sorted out. There is such a thing as losing weight too fast, which could be very unhealthy as well. And there's all kinds of reasons why that would be. But if you change your diet and you've increased your exercise, you will lose weight fairly quickly. And you don't want to lose it that quickly because you might not just be burning fat, you could be burning lean muscle, which you don't want. There's just a whole bunch of reasons why. So you gotta slow it down. Maybe the first week you go at it real hard and try and drop like 6 pounds, like I did. I dropped at least 6 pounds. I wasn't exactly sure what my weight was when I started. I probably should have checked, but yeah, 11 pound would be on the high side of what I've dropped, and 6 pound is about right. I haven't lost any weight in the last few days because I've I ate red meat. No, not today, but yesterday I did. Um, and other food items like well, I mean, there's stuff that it's obviously got cholesterol in it, like the flavored rice. Like if you can get like flavored rice, it can have fat in it, obviously. And drinking milk also, a lot of people are getting louder and louder about saying that drinking milk is bad. I don't ever want to completely remove it from my diet, but I understand that I don't have to drink as much milk as I had been before. So that's something I have to get sorted out. And it's just like I used to be able to run, and now running has become a lot more difficult for me. Um, and it's an uncomfortable feeling, because I get heart aches. Like my aches, they are very like you don't want these kind of aches. They're not that bad, but I mean, I think I could be wrong, but there can be more benign reasons why you may have particular, things going on with your body. And, if you let paranoia sink in, you may think it's a heart attack is on its way or something like that. And, there are actually many types of things that go on in the body, especially when you're younger. I mean, when you're old and you got those kind of pains, then obviously you better go check that out. But what I'm getting at is there are things that mimic the appearance of something else. So it might actually be a relatively normal thing that's going on with like because with the psychiatric medications I took for years, I've felt every kind of fucking horrible, every kind. I'm sure there's a big long list of other horrible things I could possibly be feeling, but I've felt so many different horrible things at different times. And yeah, it wasn't a lot of fun. It wasn't any fun at all. And I would not recommend it. Um, Another thing, aside from my immediate health, that's kind of been bothering me lately. I've actually been outright pissed off about it. Is it's not good to uh, push away or bottle up anger. Uh, and when you're getting fucked around, and you don't like it, and you cannot resolve the problem doesn't want to get resolved. They don't even want to talk about it. It's like the problem doesn't even exist. You don't have any rights, or this, that, and the other, which typically does happen to persons who spent a stint in the mental health system. Uh, Canadians are very sanctimonious people. Uh, you know, some of them are very aggressive about their LGBT rights. Some of them are very against, what they consider discrimination, would be racism or, whatever's. And it's just like they try to say that persons with mental illness, that it's a stigma that they have to, blah blah blah, that they have to go through. And it's like, no, it's actually worse than that. It's outright discrimination. I mean, as individuals, as people, you're allowed to say, you know what, I don't particularly like this person. I'm not going to really talk to them, or I'm going to avoid them. That's legitimate. That's your prerogative. But obviously there are people who are a lot meaner than that out there, and you know, there are all kinds of reasons why people are bullies, and most bullies have one thing in common: they're cowards. Um, that's just the fact of the matter. Without them being able to bully someone, somehow that feels it's like I don't know what that's like for them. I mean, you know, uh, it's funny, I was accused of being a bully on social media, and it's like that's not actually true. Especially with some of the people and some of the things they've said. You can even look at them on some of my videos here, the names people have called me. And people just say that just to be assholes, right? And it's like, I don't go around calling people names like that. And there was this one, Facebook group where they did, live uploads of videos of themselves doing whatever. And I didn't like this one pompous prick, so I said, fuck you. That's all I said was, fuck you. Like, literally, that's all I said. And they accused me of being a bully. And it's like, you're joking. After everything you've said against me, and the way you've talked to me, you have the audacity to call me a bully. Um, yeah, because I mean, over the years, people go, "Oh, there are trolls on the internet. They're gonna say what they're gonna say, and they get away with it." Guess what? They're goons that are there for a reason, and they enjoy bullying people. And I don't think a computer is going to replace their job because they just like what they do too much. A computer could replace their job and, automatically generate, conversation that looks like a normal person wrote it, and all this sort of stuff. But I think that's where those reprehensible type of people get their jollies from, especially when they go, "You're the bad guy, and you deserve what you're getting." And it's like, so with that pretext, that enables you to be an asshole of the like I've seen the scum of humanity. And, like, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Canadians, to be perfectly honest with you. Some of them are alright, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are trash. Uh, so yeah, that's another thing. I've obviously with my health condition, because alcohol is not good with triglycerides. Alcohol is very bad for that, as a matter of fact. I will be drinking less, but it's also a an underlying thing that's pissing me off is the way how I felt like my complaints are not being heard. Nobody's interested in my side of the story, and self-evident. Like there's the dust ball of hay off in the distance. That's what my social media looks like. That's what my social life looks like. It's like there isn't a lot going on here. And, if I'm supposed to, kind of go in a stupefied state, because that's what happens to a lot of people. If the world sort of turns on them and doesn't speak uh, comprehensible language, if they're not psychologically prepared for that, it can have the manipulative effect of just it's like it's kind of like giving someone a lobotomy, but without the physical aspect of it. It's shrinking the mind and the ability to think uh, through manipulation. So that's what all psychiatric medications are about. And that's the same thing with antidepressants as well. I wouldn't touch those. I wouldn't recommend anyone touch them. They'll do you no good, and yeah, you're better off without them. Um, Obviously, these factors and the fact that I know there are cunts out there that just do not like me at all. That's why I know, the reason I'm being treated so shabbily um, is because there are some people out there who really can't stand me, and to the point where they're actively like being the bully cowards I was telling you about. Do things that I can't see, don't know, and how could I know? But they are doing them, and they're counterproductive to where I want to go with my life. Um, this is not a made up story, and a lot of people know that. There's people out there that are assholes and will choose not to believe something, or choose to not acknowledge such a thing in front of a person like myself. And yes, they are indeed what they are. They're assholes. And for whatever reasons they do it, it doesn't make them right. And as far as cholesterol goes, you can manage it and even, you know, get it back to a normal level if just do things a little bit differently. It doesn't even have to be that drastic of changes. Like blueberries, turmeric, uh, like I said, with the turkey and and fish. Doesn't even really have to be highfalutin fish. Sardines will do. In a sandwich or something. Obviously there are better fish out there, but that's there's like those ones will suffice, and you may have to augment that with some omega, the omega nutrients or whatever you'd call them, in a in kind of the nutritional section, because they do kind of work. And turmeric is very very strong. You don't need much of it all. And some people go, well, it doesn't get absorbed into the body, blah blah blah, unless you put some pepper on it or something like that, and you eat it with like a healthy fatty food like either cashews or avocados or something like that. And it's like, well, actually, it does do some good, even if the liver doesn't really understand what it is. I mean, turmeric's not perfect, but it does lower your cholesterol. And, that's obviously not the direction my medical team wanted me to go. They wanted me to take another, cholesterol medication. And I suspect that they had reasons that were not in my best interest. Like, it's dangerous being on medications for a long time. Your body gets used to it. These medications, they don't really know all the ins and outs of them yet, and they need people to clamor to the system and, kind of just go with it. And then, they come along and go, well, look, we've done everything we can, blah, 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 blah. And it's like you're giving them a pass on everything that they did to me. They ain't getting no pass. I'm not going to make it easy for them. And I can fix my cholesterol myself. I have noticed that I have been able to run a little bit better in the last week than I could before, which is good. I got to work on that. But, yeah. I mean, these things, they weigh, on my psyche. I won't say, but they don't make me, bummed out and depressed or anything like that. I mean, like I've said before, obviously things could be better, but, it doesn't have that psychological effect on me. And I mean, people who get offended by some of the things I say on social media, oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Compared to what I had to put up with, um, it's just like you can fuck off anytime you like. The door's there. Please use it if you do not like my content. Because I ain't got to put up with your shit. A lot of people would say that about me, against me. And it's like, yeah, you don't, but you're occupying my space. So why don't you fuck off? Um, yeah, right now I got kind of a pain under my jaw. An uncomfortable one, I might add. An eerily unnatural one, either. It's just, like, it's real hard to describe. It's not a sore throat or anything like that of, a typical nature. This is directly due to the medications I had to take for so long. And because I was on a certain combination of them, I really don't know what's doing what, and you can't trust the internet. And, like I said, they deliberately wouldn't tell me things because they didn't want me saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't agree with you on this, and I'm going to be stubborn about it. But, I mean, like, okay, there's sometimes for people when certain medications are appropriate for their situation. Like, there are some people who need to be on cholesterol medication. As a matter of fact, the medical system views most people as, being at risk of high cholesterol. And most people, they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing about it until they see something, like with me, my heart feeling achy. So, I do get myself checked out every, once. You only have to do a blood test once a year. It's only when you get old, which are the type of people, if they say you got to take this cholesterol medication, then you probably better goddamn well do it. Because you're more at risk of getting a heart attack than, say, a guy like me. And, the medical system always tries to put the frighteners into people going, oh, well, you won't get a heart attack this year, probably. And it's like, oh, what a nice thing for you to say. Um, I don't think that's going to happen either, but I really, really wouldn't want to, be proven wrong on that particular subject. I would not imagine it being a fun experience at all. Um, yeah, I would avoid that if I can. And I don't believe I need cholesterol medication at this point in time. I mean, obviously, you can't get rid of all the cholesterol that's built up in your body that's bad, but you can get rid of a lot of it with simple diet changes and things like that. Um, psychiatric medications, as I said, were particularly bad for cholesterol. And the odd thing is, I mean, the asshole of a doctor didn't offer an alternative. They said, we do not recommend you cessation of taking the psychiatric medication. But here we'll to give you medication to deal with the cholesterol that was responsible for. And yes, this cholesterol medication is going to be highly potent. But you know what I did? I tore up that prescription and threw it in the fucking garbage because I don't fucking need it. And you know, as far as psychiatric medication goes, knowing what it was doing to my body, aside from all the horrible things I've felt over the years as far as physical ailments, that are directly because of the various psychiatric medications I've taken, um, you know, there's a little thing that they don't like you to really know, but it's the truth, and it's, like, if you're not on what they call extended leave, which means that they can blackmail you into taking psychiatric medications. If you're not on that list, they can't do jack. You can walk away from the system. It's just usually at this point in time, especially for me, my body was going, oh, wait a minute, those poisons that were in those medications, my body's been tricked into thinking they're good for me or something like that. They hurt, and walking away from it hurts a lot more in some cases. However, I have, you know, sort of limped away, and, I don't think it's going to be a prominent thing. I do know that in the future I will probably have to go back on psychiatric medications simply because eventually my body is gonna go, well, where is this? We took it for this long, and where is it? It's not in the system anymore, and that affects a lot of people's mental state because it causes the brain to think a lot faster. And if you're riding a bicycle real fast in a crowded building structure, and you're not wearing a helmet, you might crash. However, that's not really a problem that I get. I did get it a few times when I was younger, but I understand how that works, and that's just to what they want is people to have what they would call a mini episode where they don't really do anything, but they look mentally unwell, and that's used as an excuse to just continue perpetually abusing them. And if you don't ever give them that opportunity, they can't touch you. Just you cross your T's, you dot your I's, and you raise your middle finger whenever you feel like it. Because I know with me, so with the kind of horrible things I went through, on what very, very minute pretext, they're gonna need a fucking real reason to come after me now. And I don't feel like, doing anything that would warrant that. And, I don't see that as being a problem. So it's kind of like, well, I guess you're screwed then, aren't you? I mean, I do believe most of these physical ailments I've got will dissipate in time if I, play my medical situation carefully. But it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable knowing that there are assholes out there who do not care about my personal health, and their idea of it is quite honestly sadistic and backward, and something out of the medieval ages. And yeah, it's very very it's creepy. It's outright creepy. It just is, and it would be creepy for anyone to know that about the world, and still, you know, don't overthink things, but think about it a little bit at least. I mean, don't make it your main focal point, but you do gotta think about it if you're in that predicament. And these people will go, "Oh, I live a boring life, blah blah blah. It's very simple, and therefore no one's ever going to be interested in you." Wrong. So there's always a reason for someone coming along, and it's not your fault. Maybe they, who knows? There's always an excuse they have, and always a reason, and it can affect anyone at any time. And I mean, you know, uh, obviously with COVID and all the rules and just things changing and how people have to obey, and there's a very strong possibility that it will never be the same ever again. Where you can walk around not wearing a mask in certain places. And, I don't like the idea of wearing a mask, everywhere I go, but at the same time, I do understand that they are necessary. And, it would actually make me feel a little bit more comfortable if in certain areas where people congregate, particularly on public transit and places like that, that they continue to wear masks even when COVID has been resolved. Because another virus is probably going to come around in 10 years' time, and as I said before in my COVID videos, people are pigs. They can't help being pigs, but they are, and sometimes they can't help it. Um, you know, um, like the amount of like really disgusting things I've seen people do, uh, you know, um, really says something about society as a whole. And, you know, that's part of the reason why I don't like Canadians that much. A bunch of sanctimonious assholes. And, like I said before in other videos as well, well, you could move somewhere else theoretically and you'll find reasons to not like them either. Um, because humanity has only come so far as being sophisticated, first world. Everyone's at a strong intellectual point of view where they're doing everything right, and society functions normally, and a lot of, there's no getting around it, the insanity of the world is at a point where a lot of the problems are resolved, where humanity has not come that far yet, and it probably never will. There's lots of reasons for that. And, you know, I don't know, just, keep soldiering on and do your thing, man, and you should be alright. Uh, yeah. I definitely don't like high cholesterol. I don't like it at all. I shouldn't be worried about it at this age of my life, but, evidently I am. And they want me on cholesterol medication this early in life so that they can observe the effects of it on the human body for many, many, many years within me, and I obviously have a problem with this. Um, I don't feel like helping people that tried to destroy me like they did. Um, so, if it comes down to it, yes, I will take the cholesterol medication. I probably will have to when I'm of appropriate age, at least 50 years old. None of this bullshit when I'm 34. Fuck off. And yes, this does mean, permanent changes to how I orientate myself, as far as doing more cardio, as far as what I eat. Because I used to didn't worry about what I ate, relatively speaking. You could, eat a burger from Dairy Queen and it could have 1,000,000 calories in it, and it's like not really going to affect you too much. I mean, obviously, you shouldn't do that too often, and some people do, but you know, I didn't used to worry about that sort of stuff, and now it's just like I am, reluctantly getting a little bit older. But that's just how things go, and you got to be more cognizant of what you're doing, and uh, it's a big complicated mess, and it's like all these things are things I have to think about, and then there's other stuff too, and it's like, oh, I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. All I know is I know I don't know. And it's unsettling and irritating because there are people who have fucked me around who have not been punished in any way, shape, or form and don't believe that they should be, even though it was a colossal fuck up on their part. And they think, oh, if we don't talk about it, it's like it never happened. And we'll keep talking to this individual like he's the village idiot. And, hopefully his brain will atrophy due to lack of usage. Except that didn't quite happen, I do think. And, as I was saying earlier in the video, there are many examples where, like a small town, they did do that to individuals and everyone was OCD about it. And when they did those to those individuals, they really did make people retarded or make them very dumb. And if you're approached by a group of people at a vulnerable time of your life, you could be an adult and it can still be effective if you don't see what it is exactly they're doing. And I mean, like, directly. I mean, obviously, you can't see what's going on behind closed doors, but you can definitely pick up the vibe. And, they're a bunch of head shrinkers, is what they are. And they will nag and nag and nag you until your brain shrivels up like a raisin. And I'm not putting up with that. And it's like, yeah, because you say something, that doesn't mean it's the truth. No, does it? They don't like that either. Like, they like it when they say something, that's what it is. And it's like, well, no, actually, people lie, and so do you. Anyway, I've rambled on for quite some time, so I think I'll tail off this video, but I just want to say that I, for the time being, have got other things to focus on, so I'm going to make less YouTube videos, and I'll pick it up again at some point in time, but it won't be right now. because I'm certainly not out of ideas, not by a long shot. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening, and yeah, be seeing you.